I'm Amelia, 38, and I never thought I'd see his name in my inbox again. After 23 years of silence, there it was, a Facebook message from Jason, my younger brother, the golden child, who had made my childhood a living nightmare with our mother's full support. My hands trembled as I read his words. He wanted to reconnect to get my forgiveness because he was now a father to a little girl. The most stunning part, he framed it as wanting to move on from the guilt I caused him. Not the guilt of what he did to me, but the guilt I somehow caused by existing. Should I respond or protect the peace I've fought so hard to build? Before diving into this painful journey, where are you watching from today? Hit like and subscribe. If you've ever had to set boundaries with toxic family members. Growing up in suburban Chicago in the 1990s, our family looked picture perfect from the outside. My parents, Margaret and Robert Williams, had a lovely 2-story home with a white picket fence, 2 children, and a golden retriever named Sandy. My father worked as a financial advisor at a prestigious firm downtown, while my mother dedicated herself to being a homemaker. On paper, we were the American dream. The trouble began almost immediately after Jason was born when I was 3 years old. I have vague memories of being the center of my mother's world before his arrival, but those memories faded quickly. From the moment my brother came home from the hospital, it was clear who would be the favorite. "Look at my beautiful boy," Margaret would coo, ignoring me as I tried to show her a drawing I had made. "Isn't he perfect, Amelia? You need to be a good big sister and always look out for him." That directive became the theme of my childhood. Always look out for Jason. Always give Jason what he wants. Always let Jason go first. Always forgive Jason. My father, Robert, was rarely home working long hours to maintain our comfortable lifestyle. When he was present, he was emotionally distant, burying himself in newspapers, or taking business calls during dinner. He avoided conflict at all costs, and whenever tension arose between Margaret and me, he would suddenly remember an urgent email he needed to send. "Your mother knows best," he would say, patting my head absently before disappearing into his home office. "Try to get along, princess." As we grew older, the disparity in how we were treated became increasingly obvious. If I brought home an A on a test, Margaret would glance at it and say, "That's nice, dear." If Jason brought home a C+, she would throw her arms around him, praising his improvement and taking him out for ice cream to celebrate. When I won first place in the school science fair in 6th grade, my parents didn't even attend the ceremony because Jason had a soccer game the same day. I stood alone clutching my blue ribbon, watching as other parents took photos and hugged their children. Later that evening, Margaret displayed Jason's participation trophy prominently on the mantel while my science fair certificate was stuck to the refrigerator with a magnet eventually buried under grocery lists and phone messages. Our house operated on 2 frequencies. There was the public channel where Margaret would brag about her wonderful children to neighbours and friends at church. And then there was the private reality where Jason could do no wrong and I could do nothing right. I tried everything to earn my mother's approval. I joined every club, maintained perfect grades, kept my room immaculate, and volunteered at the local animal shelter. None of it made a difference. Margaret's attention and affection remained firmly focused on Jason. Meanwhile, Jason quickly learned how to work the system. By age 7, he had figured out that no matter what he did, our mother would defend him. If he broke something, she would say, "It was an accident." If he said something cruel, she would insist, "He didn't mean it that way." If he refused to share, she would explain, "He's just going through a phase." This dynamic created the perfect environment for what came next. With my mother as his unwitting accomplice, Jason realized he could torment me without consequences. In fact, he often received comfort and extra attention after incidents where he had hurt me as Margaret rushed to soothe him when he crocodile cried after being caught. By the time I turned 10, I felt like a ghost in my own home. I became invisible, slipping from room to room trying to avoid notice. I learnt to eat quickly at dinner so I could excuse myself before Jason found a way to kick me under the table or spill something on my clothes. I stopped bringing friends home after Jason embarrassed me in front of my best friend from 4th grade, telling her I still wet the bed, a complete lie that nevertheless caused her to spread rumors. I built a rich internal world to escape the daily rejection. Books became my refuge, and I would lose myself in stories where justice prevailed and the overlooked character ultimately found validation. I kept journals hidden under a loose floorboard in my closet, pouring my true feelings onto pages no one else would ever see. What I didn't realize then was how formative those years would be. Each dismissal of my feelings, each celebration of Jason at my expense, each moment of invisibility was shaping how I would view relationships and my own worth for decades to come. The most confusing part was that outsiders thought we were the perfect family. Teachers would comment on how lucky I was to have such involved parents. Neighbors would remark on what a nice young man Jason was becoming, and family friends would say how enviable our close-knit family seemed. No one saw what happened behind closed doors. No one witnessed the slow, steady erosion of my sense of self. No one knew that while I was building academic achievements and extracurricular successes, I was simultaneously constructing walls around my heart that would take years of therapy to dismantle. And at the center of it all was my mother, Margaret, orchestrating this family dynamic with subtle precision. She never hit me or called me names, things that would have been recognizable as abuse. Instead, she wielded favoritism like a scalpel, making countless small cuts that eventually bled me dry of any expectation of maternal love. As for Jason, he was just following the script he had been handed. In our family play, he had been cast as the golden child, the boy who could do no wrong, while I had been assigned the role of scapegoat, the girl who could do nothing right. We were both performing according to the directions we'd been given. But as we entered adolescence, Jason began to add his own cruel improvisations to his role. And that's when things went from painful to unbearable. When Jason was around 8 years old, his behavior toward me took a darker turn. What had started as typical sibling rivalry transformed into something much more sinister. At first, his actions could be dismissed as pranks or accidents, but it soon became clear, at least to me, that there was deliberate cruelty behind them. One afternoon, I was carrying a basket of laundry downstairs when I felt a hard shove from behind. I tumbled down the last 6 steps, laundry flying everywhere, and landed with a sickening crack as my wrist bent backward. Through tears of pain, I looked up to see Jason at the top of the stairs, a small smile playing on his lips before he arranged his face into a mask of concern. "Mom," he called out. Amelia fell down the stairs. Margaret came running, immediately cradling my sobbing brother, who was now claiming, "I tried to catch her. Mom, I really tried." I sat in stunned silence, clutching my throbbing wrist, as my mother comforted Jason for the trauma of witnessing my fall. Only after several minutes did she help me up and take me to the emergency room, where I was diagnosed with a sprained wrist and given a brace. "These things happen," she told the doctor with a sigh. "Amelia has always been clumsy." That incident established a pattern that would continue for years. Jason would hurt me either physically or emotionally, then twist the narrative so that he was either blameless or even more perversely the victim of the situation. When I was 12, I spent weeks working on a watercolor painting for an art competition. The night before it was due, I came home from swim practice to find it ruined, with water spilled across the paper colors, bleeding together into an unrecognizable mess. Jason was trying to look at it and accidentally knocked over his glass. Margaret explained, already defensive. "He feels terrible about it. Don't make him feel worse by getting upset." My brother stood behind our mother, and when she turned away, he smirked at me, letting me know there was nothing accidental about what had happened. As we got older, Jason became more sophisticated in his torment. He began to target my social life, spreading rumors at school about me. In 8th grade, he told a group of boys I had a crush on, that I still slept with a nightlight and was afraid of the toilet flushing. It sounds silly now, but to a 13-year-old girl, that kind of humiliation was devastating. When I confronted him at home, he denied everything, and of course Margaret believed him. Why would Jason say those things? "He loves you," she insisted. "The boys must have made it up themselves. You know how cruel children can be." The irony of her statement was completely lost on her. The worst part wasn't the actual abuse, it was the gaslighting that followed. Every time Jason hurt me, Margaret would rewrite reality. "You're too sensitive," Kaiku became her constant refrain. "He's just playing. That's what brothers do. You need to toughen up. Stop trying to get your brother in trouble." After years of this treatment, I began to doubt my own perceptions. Maybe I was being too sensitive. Maybe this was normal sibling behavior. Maybe I was the problem. My father Robert witnessed some of these incidents, but his response was always the same. A heavy sigh, a muttered, "Kids will be kids," and a retreat to wherever he could avoid dealing with the situation. His passivity was its own form of betrayal. He never hit me, never yelled at me, but his refusal to protect me when he could see what was happening spoke volumes about where I stood in his priorities. Jason quickly learned that the best time to torment me was when adults weren't watching, or at least when only our father was present, knowing Robert wouldn't intervene. He would wait until Margaret went to the grocery store, then come into my room and read my diary, or delete homework files from the family computer, or hide things I needed for school the next day. By the time I reached high school, I had developed severe anxiety and depression. I had trouble sleeping, jumping at small noises, and keeping a chair propped against my bedroom door at night. I struggled to trust friends, always waiting for them to turn on me the way my own family had. I developed nervous habits like biting my nails until they bled and twirling my hair until it tangled. I created elaborate systems to protect myself. I saved schoolwork on password-protected floppy disks that I kept with me at all times. I stored my most precious possessions at my friend Tara's house, the only person who had some inkling of what my home life was like. I spent as much time as possible at the public library school clubs or anywhere that wasn't home. The first time I tried to tell someone outside the family what was happening, I was 13. My English teacher, Ms. Patterson, noticed my withdrawn behavior and asked if everything was okay at home. In a moment of weakness, I confided some of what Jason did to me. 2 days later, Margaret showed up at school for a conference. Ms. Patterson, with good intentions but catastrophic results, had called my mother with concerns about family dynamics. The ride home was silent, but once inside the house, Margaret exploded. "How dare you spread lies about our family?" she hissed. "Ms. Patterson thinks we're dysfunctional because of your stories. Is that what you want? For people to think we're a bad family, that I'm a bad mother." That night, Jason came to my room while our parents were downstairs. "No one will ever believe you," he whispered, leaning against my doorframe with casual confidence. "You should know that by now." After that, I stopped seeking help. I learned to endure in silence, counting down the days until I could leave for college and never come back. I threw myself into academics with renewed purpose, knowing education was my only ticket out. As the abuse continued, I developed a kind of dual consciousness. There was the outer Amelia, who smiled at appropriate times, who achieved academically, who nodded when Margaret praised Jason at dinner. And there was the inner Amelia, who documented every incident in journals, who nurtured a slow, burning rage, who made detailed plans for escape. What I didn't realize then was that surviving in this environment was teaching me skills I would later use to build a successful life. I became observant, learning to read subtle changes in mood and tone as a self-protection mechanism. I developed resilience, bouncing back from daily wounds that would have crushed someone else. I cultivated self-reliance, knowing from an early age that I was essentially on my own. But those lessons came at an enormous cost. And things would get worse before I finally found my way out. I was 15 when everything came to a head. It was a crisp October afternoon, and I had just returned from debate team practice. The house was unusually quiet as I dropped my backpack in the entryway and headed to the kitchen for a snack. That's when I heard my mother's voice tight with anger calling me to the living room. I found Margaret and Robert sitting on the sofa, their faces grim. Jason, then 12, stood near the fireplace, arms crossed with an expression of injured innocence that immediately set off alarm bells in my mind. "Amelia," Margaret began, her voice cold, "we need to talk about the money missing from my purse." My stomach dropped. "What money?" "Don't play dumb," she snapped. $60 disappeared from my wallet this morning. Jason saw you going through my purse before school. I looked at my brother in disbelief. "That's a lie. I never touched your purse, Mom." Jason stepped forward, his performance pitch perfect. "I saw her, Mom, when you were in the shower. She probably needed money for something at school and didn't want to ask." "That's not true." My voice rose with desperation. "I was getting ready for school. I never went near your purse." "Then how do you explain the money being gone?" Margaret demanded. "I don't know," I said, feeling the familiar sensation of being backed into a corner. "Maybe Jason took it." The accusation hung in the air for a brief second before Margaret's face flushed with anger. "How dare you? Your brother would never steal from me. He doesn't need to. He asks when he needs something, unlike you, who's always so secretive." My father finally spoke, his voice weary. "Amelia, if you needed money, you should have just asked us." "But I didn't take it," I protested, tears welling in my eyes. "Enough," Margaret declared. "You're grounded for 2 weeks. No phone, no computer, except for homework, and no debate team until you learn to tell the truth." As I stood there, humiliated and falsely accused, I caught Jason's eye. Behind our parents' backs, he smirked and patted his pocket slightly. In that moment, I knew without a doubt that he had taken the money and framed me for it. I spent the next 2 weeks in a fog of anger and injustice. My debate team missed a major competition because of my absence. My social life, already precarious, took another hit. And worst of all, no one in my family questioned my guilt for even a moment. 3 weeks after the incident, I was cleaning the bathroom we shared when I knocked over Jason's toiletry bag. As I picked up the scattered items, I noticed a small notebook wedged behind the trash can. Curiosity overcoming my better judgment, I opened it. What I found was both vindicating and devastating. It was a diary of sorts, but not filled with normal preteen thoughts and feelings. Instead, it contained entries where Jason documented his pranks against me, rating them by my reaction and our mother's response. The stolen money was there along with detailed accounts of other incidents he had gotten away with, framing me for lost jewelry, a broken vase missing mail. My hands shaking with a mixture of rage and validation, I took the notebook straight to my parents who were watching TV in the living room. Jason was at a friend's house, so I finally had a chance to present my evidence without his interference. I found this, I said, placing the notebook on the coffee table. Jason wrote it all down. He's been setting me up, framing me for things I never did. The money, everything. It was all him. My mother picked up the notebook with a frown, flipping through the pages as my father looked over her shoulder. I watched their faces waiting for the shock, the apology, the dawning realization that they had been wrong about me all these years. Instead, Margaret slowly closed the notebook and fixed me with a cold stare. "You wrote this," she said quietly. "What?" "No, I gasped. "That's Jason's handwriting. Look at it. It's his notebook. You're telling me your 12-year-old brother is keeping some kind of revenge journal?" She shook her head. "This is low, Amelia, even for you. Making up stories to get your brother in trouble is bad enough, but fabricating evidence..." My father cleared his throat uncomfortably. "Let's all just move past this," he suggested, reaching for the remote. "No need to drag things up again." Before I could protest further, Margaret stood up, notebook in hand, and walked to the kitchen. I followed in stunned silence as she turned on the garbage disposal and page by page tore out the journal entries and fed them into the grinding metal teeth. "We will never speak of this again," she said over the mechanical roar. "And if you ever try to pull something like this with your brother again, there will be serious consequences." I stood frozen, watching as the evidence of my vindication disappeared down the drain. In that moment, something inside me shifted permanently. The last tiny hope that my parents might someday see the truth, that they might protect me or believe me, vanished as completely as those shredded pages. That night, lying in bed and staring at the ceiling, I made a promise to myself. I would survive 2 more years in this house. I would excel in every class, win every competition, secure every scholarship possible. And then I would leave and never look back. For the first time, I allowed myself to imagine a future where I owed nothing to the people who had failed to love me properly. A future where I wasn't constantly walking on eggshells or defending myself against false accusations. A future where I could simply exist without having to justify my existence. 2 years, I whispered into the darkness. 2 years, and then I'm free. That night marked the true beginning of my escape plan. I stopped trying to win my mother's approval or earn my father's attention. I stopped hoping Jason would outgrow his cruelty. Instead, I focused all my energy on getting out. School became more than just a refuge, it became my lifeline. Every A on a test, every teacher's recommendation, every extracurricular achievement was another step toward freedom. I was no longer studying for my parents' approval, I was studying for my liberation. That breaking point, painful as it was, became the foundation for everything that followed. Sometimes the deepest betrayals lead to the most profound transformations. Mine was just beginning. The next 2 years passed in a blur of determined focus. While maintaining my perfect GPA, I worked after school at the local bookstore and on weekends babysitting for neighbours. Every dollar I earned went into a savings account I had opened with Tara's mother as a co-signer, something my own parents never knew about. I needed a financial cushion for when I finally broke free. I applied to universities far from Chicago, targeting schools with strong scholarship programs. When acceptance letters started arriving in the spring of my senior year, I hid them from my family, afraid they might try to sabotage my escape plans. The day I received a full academic scholarship to a university in New York, nearly 500 miles away, I cried tears of relief in the school bathroom. When I finally announced my college decision at dinner, Margaret seemed almost relieved. New York? Well, I suppose that's nice. Though I don't understand why you can't attend the state university like Jason plans to. Family should stay together. The irony of her statement wasn't lost on me. We had never been a real family. Moving day arrived in August, hot and humid. My father helped load my few belongings into the car with mechanical efficiency. Jason lounged in the doorway, watching with a smirk playing at the corners of his mouth. As I picked up my last bag, he whispered, "They'll forget about you, you know, once you're gone." And so that. I looked him straight in the eye and replied, "That's the plan." Margaret gave me a stiff, formal hug before I got in the car. "Don't forget to call when you arrive," she said, already turning back toward the house. I nodded, knowing it was a promise I wouldn't keep. My father drove me to the airport in silence. As he unloaded my luggage at the departures terminal, he awkwardly patted my shoulder. "Good luck, princess," he said, using the endearment that had long since lost any meaning. "Goodbye, Dad," I replied, not looking back as I walked through the sliding doors. On the plane, watching Chicago shrink beneath me, I felt a dizzying mixture of terror and elation. For the first time in my life, no one was watching over my shoulder, criticizing my choices or undermining my confidence. I was free and terrified. Those first months at college were a revelation. I discovered that I could speak in class without bracing for contradiction. I could make friends without worrying they'd believe lies about me. I could exist without constantly defending that existence. But freedom came with its own challenges. I didn't know how to trust people. Every kindness made me suspicious. Every compliment seemed like it must have a hidden agenda. My roommate Sophia was the first to break through my defenses. After weeks of me flinching whenever she entered our shared room, she finally sat me down. "Whatever happened before you came here," she said gently, "it's not happening here. No one is out to get you, Amelia, least of all me." Something about her straightforward compassion cracked the shell I'd built around myself. That night, I told her pieces of my story, the first time I'd ever shared it with someone who wasn't a distant adult or authority figure. She listened without judgment, and when I finished, she simply hugged me. "Family is supposed to make you feel safe," she said. "Yours didn't, so we'll be your family now." And slowly, I began to build a network of people who genuinely cared about my well-being. Sophia introduced me to her study group, who welcomed me without question. I joined the university newspaper and found community among fellow writers. For the first time, I experienced what healthy relationships felt like. During my sophomore year, I started seeing the university counselor, Dr. Winters. In those weekly sessions, I began the long process of unpacking the damage my family had done. "What you experienced was emotional abuse," Dr. Winters told me during one session. "The favoritism, the gaslighting, the scapegoating, these aren't normal family dynamics." Having a professional name, what had happened to me was profoundly validating. I wasn't oversensitive or dramatic or any of the things Margaret had labelled me. I was a survivor of systematic emotional abuse. Throughout that year, I maintained minimal contact with my family. I called home once a month, brief superficial conversations that revealed nothing about my actual life. I declined to return for Thanksgiving, claiming a heavy workload. When Christmas break arrived, however, I couldn't avoid the trip home without raising suspicions. Those 2 weeks were a painful reminder of why I'd left. Nothing had changed. Margaret still fawned over Jason, now 16, and more arrogant than ever. My father still retreated to his office at the first sign of tension, and Jason, having lost his primary target for so many months, seemed determined to make up for lost time. The breaking point came 3 days before I was scheduled to return to New York. I had borrowed my father's car to meet Tara for coffee. When I returned, the driver's side door had a long, deliberate scratch running from front to back. Jason stood in the driveway, tossing a key between his hands. "Oops," he said with a smile. "Looks like you damaged Dad's car." Hussing. Before I could respond, Margaret rushed out of the house. One look at the car and her face hardened. "Amelia, how could you be so careless with your father's property?" "I didn't do this," I said, the familiar feeling of helpless rage washing over me. "Jason did. He just admitted it." "Don't try to blame your brother," Margaret snapped. "He was home with me the whole time." "He's standing right here with the key he used," I shouted, pointing at Jason, who had quickly pocketed the evidence. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said innocently. "I just came out when I heard Mom yelling. It was the same old script, the same old lies, and I suddenly realized nothing would ever change. These people were incapable of seeing me clearly or treating me fairly. Whatever broken dynamic existed between us was permanent. That night, I booked an earlier flight back to New York. I packed my bags while everyone was asleep and called a taxi for dawn. I left a note on the kitchen table that simply read, "I won't be coming back. Please don't contact me." When I landed in New York, I called home one last time. Margaret answered, her voice tight with anger. "What is the meaning of this, Amelia? You can't just leave without saying goodbye. What will people think?" "I don't care what people think anymore." I said, my voice steady. "I'm done pretending we're a normal family. I'm done being the scapegoat. I'm done with all of it." "You're being dramatic," she began, but I cut her off. "No, I'm being honest. For the first time in my life, I'm putting myself first. Please don't call me again." "You'll regret this," she said, her voice cold. "Family is everything, Amelia. You'll come crawling back when you realize how hard the world is." "The world has never been as hard as living in your house," I replied, and hung up. And that was it. At 20 years old, I made the decision to go completely no contact with my family. I changed my phone number, created a new email address, and later deleted all social media accounts connected to my past. The relief was immediate and overwhelming. Without the constant background radiation of their toxicity, I began to heal in ways I hadn't thought possible. My grades improved even further. My friendships deepened. I started dating cautiously at first, learning to recognize healthy attraction from mere attention-seeking. After graduation, I accepted a position with a graphic design firm in Seattle, putting even more physical distance between my past and my future. I built a career I was proud of, eventually becoming a senior designer, specializing in branding for non-profit organizations. In my late 20s, I met William at a charity event our firms were collaborating on. From the beginning, our relationship was different from any I'd experienced before. Honest, supportive, and kind. On our third date, I told him about my family and my decision to cut contact. Instead of the judgment, I feared he simply held my hand and said, "They lost something precious when they lost you." After 3 years together, we married in a small ceremony, surrounded by friends who had become the family I chose. William's parents embraced me as a daughter, showing me what healthy family love could look like. As I built this new life, I sometimes thought about my biological family, wondering if they ever reflected on why I had left. But these thoughts grew less frequent as the years passed. I had created a life filled with genuine connections, meaningful work, and authentic joy, a life that would have been impossible had I remained tethered to the people who had never seen my worth. For 23 years, I maintained that separation, healing, and growing in the space it provided. Until an ordinary Tuesday afternoon in September, when the past came knocking in the form of a Facebook message from someone I had hoped never to hear from again. It was 2:45 on a Tuesday afternoon when my phone pinged with a Facebook notification. I was in my home office, finishing designs for a non-profit client, with the window open to let in the crisp Seattle autumn air. It was the kind of ordinary moment that makes up a happy life. The cursor blinking on my screen, the sound of wind chimes from our back porch, the knowledge that William would be home in a few hours for our weekly date night. Then I saw the notification, "Jason Williams wants to connect with you." My coffee mug slipped from my hand, shattering against the hardwood floor. For a moment, I couldn't breathe, couldn't move, couldn't process what I was seeing. 23 years of silence, and now this. I forced myself to take a deep breath, then another. With trembling fingers, I clicked on the notification. His profile picture showed a man I barely recognized, middle-aged, with the beginning of grey at his temples, standing next to a young girl who looked about 5 or 6. My niece, I realized with a jolt. A child I didn't even know existed. I closed Facebook without reading his message, my heart hammering against my ribs. The physical symptoms were immediate, an overwhelming nausea rising in my throat, a cold sweat breaking across my forehead, a tightness in my chest that made each breath a conscious effort. My therapist had explained years ago that these were classic signs of PTSD, but knowing that didn't make them easier to manage. I called William at work, something I rarely did. "I need you," was all I could say when he answered. "I'm on my way," he replied without hesitation. While waiting for him, I paced our living room, trying to calm my racing thoughts. Why now, after all this time? What could Jason possibly want from me? The idea that he might have changed seemed laughable. He had shown me who he was repeatedly throughout our childhood. People like that didn't change, they just found new tactics. When William arrived, his concern evident in the lines of his face, I showed him my phone with the notification still visible. My brother, I explained unnecessarily. After 23 years. William sat beside me on the sofa, his steady presence an anchor in the storm of my emotions. You don't have to read it, he reminded me. You don't owe him anything. I know, I said, but if I don't, I'll wonder what he wanted. That uncertainty might be worse than knowing. We agreed I would wait 24 hours before making any decision. That night I barely slept, old nightmares resurfacing after years of absence. In one, I was back in my childhood home searching for something important, while Jason followed me from room to room smirking as I grew increasingly frantic. In another, I was trying to speak but no sound came out, while Margaret and Robert turned their backs on me. The next morning, after William left for work with a supportive kiss and a reminder that I could call him any time I sat at my computer and opened Facebook again. Taking a deep breath, I clicked on Jason's message. Amelia, I don't know if you'll read this, but I'm hoping you will. It's been a long time. I'm married now to a wonderful woman named Claire, and we have a daughter, Emma, who's 5. Becoming a father has changed me in ways I never expected. Emma recently asked if I had any siblings, and I told her about her aunt who lives far away. She wants to know more about you, and that got me thinking about all the things I need to make right. I know I was terrible to you when we were kids. I made your life hell, and I had Mum convinced it was always your fault. I need to make amends so I can move on from the guilt you've caused me and be the father Emma deserves. Would you be willing to talk on the phone sometime, just to clear the air? I understand if you say no, but I hope you won't. Jason. I read the message 3 times, each reading revealing new layers of the same old patterns. He acknowledged the abuse that was new, but the framing that I had somehow caused his guilt, that his desire for reconciliation was about him being a better father rather than genuinely making amends to me, it was all so familiar. Even in supposed apology, he centered himself in his needs. That phrase, the guilt you've caused me, seemed to sum up our entire relationship. Somehow, even now, his negative feelings were my responsibility, not a natural consequence of his own actions. The mention of my niece Emma complicated things emotionally. There was an innocent child who knew nothing of our history, who simply wanted to know about her aunt. But was that my responsibility, and was Jason using his daughter as emotional leverage? Over the next week, I experienced the return of anxiety symptoms I thought I'd conquered years ago. I had nightmares, lost my appetite, and found myself jumping at small noises. William was endlessly patient, holding me through panic attacks, and reminding me that I had the power in this situation. You get to decide, he said one night, as we lay in bed, my head on his chest. Not Jason, not his daughter, not some abstract notion of family obligation. You. I scheduled an emergency session with my current therapist, Dr. Klein, who had been helping me work through the lingering effects of my childhood for the past 5 years. What does forgiveness mean to you, Amelia? She asked after I showed her the message. I don't know, I admitted. I've worked so hard to move past what happened to build a life that isn't defined by it. Does that count as forgiveness? It might, she said thoughtfully. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean pretending the abuse didn't happen or wasn't severe. Sometimes forgiveness is simply refusing to let past wounds determine your future happiness. By that definition, I forgave Jason years ago, I realized. Perhaps you did, she agreed. The question now is whether engaging with him serves your well-being or detracts from it. I also spoke with my closest friend Tara, the only person besides William who knew the full extent of my childhood experiences. Her response was immediate and protective. I don't trust him, she said bluntly. That line about the guilt you've caused me is classic Davo defend attack reverse victim and offender. He's still blaming you for his feelings about what he did. Throughout the week, I researched articles about reconnecting with abusers and joined an online support group for adult survivors of family abuse. The stories I read were both heartbreaking and illuminating. Some people had positive experiences with carefully bounded reconciliation. Others regretted opening old wounds, only to have salt poured in them anew. One night, unable to sleep, I wrote 2 letters I never intended to send. The first was to the little boy Jason had been expressing my sadness that our mother's toxic favoritism had warped him into someone capable of deliberate cruelty. The second was to myself at 15, standing in the kitchen, watching evidence of my abuse disappear down the garbage disposal, promising her that she would eventually find safety and love. By the end of the week, I had reached clarity. I didn't owe Jason a phone call. I didn't owe him forgiveness. I didn't owe him an opportunity to ease his conscience. Whatever his daughter wanted to know about her aunt could be addressed without putting me in direct contact with my abuser. I had spent 23 years building a life of peace and purpose. I wasn't willing to risk that hard-won serenity for someone who, even in his attempt at apology, couldn't take full responsibility for his actions. With that clarity came a surprising sense of power. For the first time, I was engaging with my past from a position of strength rather than victimhood. I was making a choice based on what was best for me, not on fear or obligation or the desperate need for validation I'd felt as a child. That perhaps more than anything showed how far I'd come. With William sitting beside me for moral support, I composed my response to Jason. I took my time writing and rewriting until every word reflected exactly what I wanted to say. Jason, I've received your message. Yes, you did make my childhood a living hell. I remember everything, the pranks that were actually physical abuse, the lies you told about me, the possessions you destroyed, the social humiliation you orchestrated. I remember Mother always taking your side, and Father doing nothing to stop any of it. I remember showing them your journal where you documented framing me, only to have Mother destroy the evidence and accuse me of forgery. These aren't vague recollections, they're specific, detailed memories that shaped who I became. I noticed that your message frames your desire for contact in terms of what you need to move on from the guilt and to be the father Emma deserves. There's nothing about what I might need after 2 decades of healing from the abuse you inflicted. The phrase, the guilt you've caused me, is particularly telling. You're still positioning yourself as a victim of my actions rather than taking full responsibility for yours. I'm not interested in a phone call or meeting. I've built a good life far from the toxicity of our family dynamic, and I see no benefit in reopening those wounds. If your daughter wants to know about her aunt, you can tell her I'm a graphic designer in Seattle who enjoys hiking, painting, and volunteer work. That's all she needs to know at her age. I wish you well in your journey toward being a better person than you were as a child and teenager. But that journey is yours to make, not mine to facilitate. Please do not contact me again. Amelia. I hit send, then released a breath I felt like I'd been holding for 23 years. William squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you, he said simply. A strange lightness filled me in the aftermath of sending that email, something close to euphoria. For the first time, I had spoken my complete truth about what happened without fear of retaliation or dismissal. I had named the abuse without minimizing it to make others comfortable. I had set a boundary and enforced it from a place of self-respect rather than fear. Jason's response came less than an hour later, confirming that I had made the right decision. Wow, you're still playing the victim after all these years. I was trying to be nice and include you in my daughter's life, but I guess some people just can't let go of the past. You're remembering things wrong anyway. We were just kids and siblings fight. Mother always said you were oversensitive. I was hoping you'd grown out of that, but obviously not. Don't worry, I won't bother you again with my attempts at reconciliation. Reading his words, I felt a complex mixture of emotions, validation, that my assessment of his character had been correct, sadness for the niece I would never know, and most surprisingly, compassion for the man who still couldn't face the reality of what he had done. Jason was still caught in the web of denial and self-justification that our mother had woven around him. In some ways, he was as much a prisoner of our dysfunctional family system as I had been just one who had been given silk sheets in his cell. I showed William the message without comment. And there it is, he said after reading it. All the old patterns. Deny, minimize, blame. It's almost comforting in a weird way, I admitted. To know I didn't imagine any of it. He's exactly who I remembered him to be. I blocked Jason on all social media platforms, an email closing that door firmly once again. A week later, another blast from the past, arrived a message from Margaret, my first direct contact with my mother in 23 years. Amelia, Jason told me you responded very cruelly to his attempt to rebuild our family. I always knew you were jealous of the special bond he and I shared, but to punish his innocent daughter for your petty grudges is a new low. You broke my heart when you abandoned us, and now you're doing it again. A real family forgives Amelia. I thought I raised you better than this. The message was so predictable, it was almost laughable. The same guilt trips, the same emotional manipulation, the same refusal to acknowledge reality. 23 years had passed, and Margaret was still playing the same notes on the same instrument, expecting a different melody to emerge. I showed the message to William, who shook his head in disbelief. "The audacity," he murmured. "After everything she enabled. It doesn't hurt like it used to," I realized, somewhat surprised. "It's like hearing a song that used to make you cry but now just makes you change the radio station." I blocked Margaret without responding. There was nothing to say that wouldn't simply feed into the dysfunction. The most powerful statement I could make was silence, a silence that spoke volumes about the consequences of their actions. That night, William and I opened a bottle of wine and sat on our back porch, watching the sunset paint the Seattle skyline in shades of gold and pink. "Are you okay?" he asked, his eyes searching my face for signs of distress. "I'm more than okay," I said and meant it. "I feel like I just passed a test I didn't know I was taking." "What kind of test?" "The kind where you find out if you've really healed or just bandaged the wound." I took a sip of wine, letting the warm evening air fill my lungs. For years I've wondered what would happen if they ever tried to come back into my life. Would I crumble? Would I get pulled back into old patterns? Would I suddenly revert to that scared, desperate girl seeking validation? "And now you know," William smiled. "Now I know." I agreed. "I'm not that girl anymore. I haven't been for a long time." In the days that followed, I felt a new kind of freedom. By facing the past directly and maintaining my boundaries despite pressure, I had proven to myself that the old power dynamics no longer applied. I wasn't the scapegoat anymore. I wasn't the family disappointment. I was simply Amelia, a woman who had survived, thrived, and built a life worthy of her true self. The brief reconnection, painful as it had been in some ways, had given me something valuable, a confirmation that I had made the right choice all those years ago. Walking away hadn't been a dramatic overreaction or a failure of forgiveness. It had been an act of necessary self-preservation, and in the face of renewed contact, my choice to maintain that distance wasn't about holding grudges. It was about honoring the life I had worked so hard to create, a life of peace, authenticity, and genuine connection. Some wounds can only heal when you remove yourself from those who caused them. Some relationships can't be fixed because the fundamental dynamics remain unchanged. And some families aren't worth sacrificing your well-being to maintain. These were truths I had discovered through years of therapy and inner work, but seeing them play out in real time had cemented them in my soul. In the months that followed my brief reconnection with Jason and Margaret, I found myself processing the experience in unexpected ways. Rather than setting me back emotionally, the encounter had actually propelled me forward in my healing journey. My therapist, Dr. Klein, noted the change in our sessions. "You're speaking with more authority about your experiences," she observed. "There's less questioning of your own perceptions." She was right. For years, despite the progress I had made, there had always been a tiny voice in the back of my mind, wondering if I had somehow exaggerated or misremembered the abuse. Seeing Jason's immediate reversion to blame and denial, witnessing Margaret's unchanged defense of him, it validated my memories in a way that years of therapy hadn't quite managed to do. "It's like finally having external confirmation of what I've always known internally," I explained to Dr. Klein. "I'm not carrying the burden of proof anymore." William noticed changes too. "You seem lighter," he commented one evening as we cooked dinner together. "More settled in yourself." I considered his observation as I chopped vegetables. "I think it's because I finally got to say what I needed to say on my terms. For years, I rehearsed confrontations in my mind, imagining what I would tell them if I ever had the chance. But the actual experience was different, better actually. I was calm and clear, not emotional and desperate for validation. I spoke my truth without needing them to acknowledge it. One unexpected outcome of the experience was that it inspired me to channel my feelings into my work. As a graphic designer, I had always been drawn to projects that gave voice to important social issues. Now I felt called to create something more personal. I began working on a series of graphic novel-style illustrations depicting scenes from childhood emotional abuse from the perspective of the child experiencing it. Not literal representations of my own experiences, but artistic interpretations of the psychological impact of gaslighting, scapegoating, and emotional neglect. The project became a form of therapy itself. Each illustration allowed me to externalize an aspect of my experience, transforming painful memories into art that might help others recognize similar patterns in their own lives. I titled the series Invisible Wounds and shared the first few pieces on my professional website. The response was overwhelming. Comments and emails poured in from people who saw their own childhoods reflected in my work. A mental health nonprofit reached out about using the images in their educational materials. A publisher expressed interest in developing the series into a full graphic novel. "You've touched something universal," William said as we read through the responses together. "So many people have lived some version of this story. I never thought of it that way," I admitted. "I always felt so isolated in my experience, like I was the only one living in this bizarre parallel reality where nothing made sense and no one believed me." "That's by design," William pointed out. "Abusive systems thrive on making the targeted person feel alone. It's harder to fight back when you think you're the only one." Inspired by the connections I was making through my art, I started a blog called Beyond Blood for adult survivors of family abuse. I shared my journey from scapegoated child to self-confident adult, offering practical advice on everything from setting boundaries to dealing with flying monkeys to building chosen family. The blog became a community, a safe space where people could share their stories without fear of being told to forgive and forget or, "But they're your family." It was healing not just for my readers, but for me as well. Every post I wrote clarified some aspect of my experience. Every comment exchange reminded me that healing was possible. Through this work, I connected with other survivors who had made similar choices to mine, going no contact with abusive family members and building rich, fulfilling lives on their own terms. These connections became a kind of chosen family bound by shared understanding rather than shared DNA. One particular email touched me deeply. A 20-year-old woman wrote that she had just made the decision to cut contact with her abusive parents, and my blog had given her the courage to follow through. "I was afraid I would be completely alone," she wrote. "But reading about your journey made me realize that walking away isn't the end of family, it's the beginning of finding the people who will truly love you." I wrote back to her that same day, offering encouragement and practical advice from my own experience. As I clicked send, I thought about how different my early 20s might have been if I'd had someone to validate my decision, someone who had walked the same path and emerged whole on the other side. William and I had been discussing starting a family of our own for several years, but I had always hesitated, afraid that I lacked the blueprint for healthy parenting. After my brief reconnection with Jason and Margaret, something shifted. I realized that I knew exactly what kind of parent I didn't want to be, and that knowledge was valuable in its own way. "I think I'm ready," I told William one Sunday morning as we lingered over coffee on our back deck, watching hummingbirds dart around the feeder we had hung the previous spring. "Ready for what?" he asked, stunned, though the smile spreading across his face suggested he already knew. "To try for a baby," I said the words simultaneously terrifying and exhilarating. "I think I'd be a good mother. Not perfect, but good." William took my hand across the table. "You'll be an amazing mother. You know why? Why? Because you understand the value of seeing a child for who they truly are, not who you want them to be. That's something your mother never learned." His words settled something deep within me. I had spent so long defining myself in opposition to my family of origin, working to be nothing like Margaret, to create nothing like the household I grew up in. But there was freedom in recognizing that I could draw on those experiences as lessons in what to avoid while looking to healthier models for what to emulate. In the quiet garden of our Seattle home, surrounded by the life we had built together, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the path that had brought me here. Not gratitude for the abuse that was something I would never feel, but gratitude for my own resilience, for the allies I had found along the way, for the strength to walk away and the wisdom to stay away. The contact from Jason, painful as it had initially been, had become an unexpected gift, a confirmation that I had made the right choices, that the life I had built was worth protecting, and that the boundaries I had established were both necessary and justified. Some people say that time heals all wounds. In my experience, time alone isn't enough. Healing comes from acknowledgement, from setting boundaries, from finding your voice, and from building connections with those who see and value you for who you truly are. I had done all of those things, not because my family of origin had shown me how, but because their failure to do so had forced me to find another way. And that way had led me here to a life filled with authentic love, creative purpose, and hard-won peace. Have you ever had to make the difficult choice of cutting contact with toxic family members? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments below. Remember that sometimes the bravest, most loving thing you can do is protect your peace by walking away from relationships that harm you, even when those relationships are with family. If my story resonated with you, please like and subscribe to hear more journeys of healing and transformation. Thank you for listening, and remember, your worth is never determined by those who failed to see it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.